wanted to start with Bad Boys for Life because it ended up being a huge hit. And I'm curious, what were you hoping for in terms of like worldwide box office? Because it did a lot better than people anticipated.
Well, we're sad it hasn't been exposed to China yet, but hopefully we'll get there. But it was a phenomenal success. We're so excited by it. The guys made a terrific movie. Will and Martin are just wonderful together. They really worked hard on the script and during the shooting, and it certainly shows on the screen. So it's the number one picture of the year so far.
Exactly. How much I heard after with all the success that you guys might be developing another one. How much does the studio want to do a fourth, and you guys?
Well, we had a great experience on the first one, both through the development process with Tom Rothman and his team, and then through the editing process and the filming process, and then during the fact that we preview process went terrific, and we put together, along with their help, a movie that's very satisfying for the audience. And we'd like to do it again, and I think they would like us to do it again. We're currently working on a draft for the fourth one.
Every time I talk to you, I ask you the same question. Today is going to be no different. What do I need to do to get a National Treasure 3?
Well, that's a Disney question, not me. We're certainly working on one for streaming, and we're also working on one for the big screen. So hopefully they'll both come together, and we'll bring you another National Treasure. But they're both very active.
Do you think there's more of a chance of it happening now with Disney Plus? I mean, is there a chance that it could be made for that format, or are you guys envisioning it as a theatrical that would eventually go to Disney Plus?
Well, the one for Disney Plus is a much younger cast, so it's the same concept but a young cast. The one for theatrical would be with the same cast.
Can I ask how far along you are on those versions?
Well, the film version is being written right now, and the television version is in process. We have, I think, a pilot script done, and we have the episodes, an outline of the future episodes.
What do you think it will take to get filming to begin again? Have you had these conversations with people? I'm sure people are asking you, what is it going to take?
Well, I think it's going to take hopefully the curve flattens, we get out of our homes. That's the first thing we got to do. And then it's a combination of the safeguards that we put in, and the NPA and all the studios are working on guidelines on how to do that. And then they're working with the insurance companies to figure out how we're insured. And the other issue is going to be testing. Hopefully I read an article just recently that they have saliva testing, which is as accurate as the swab testing. So even more accurate. So we'll have to test people before they come up to check their temperatures. There are a lot of social distancing. A lot of people will be working from their homes or from remote offices. We'll figure out a way to do it. We always do.
Switching into a few other things, you've produced, too many movies for me to mention. I'm curious, did you ever get the directing bug? Was it something that you ever thought about doing?
Yeah, for a minute, but I don't have the attention span to do that. I have to have multiple things going all the time. That's what keeps me going. But, it's the old Peter principle, do what you do what you know how to do best. And fortunately, I've been pretty good at what I'm doing.
Yeah, I would say so. If you could get something greenlit tomorrow that has never been able to get a green light, what would that project be and why?
Well, we have a number of things that we're working on that we'd like to get greenlit. So I don't want to point at one because there's a bunch of them. And we're very excited about some of the new projects that we have coming up.
High Concept is a great book. Would you ever consider doing like a documentary about your relationship with Dawn and what went on back then?
Not really. I think that, first of all, I haven't read High Concept, but from what people told me about it, there's a lot of inaccuracies in it. So that's, a lot of the people that talk to the journalist or the writer, I didn't check with us first. So we certainly would have guided them in a different way.
You've made so many iconic films, and I would imagine that there's great stories that went on making these movies. Have you ever thought about doing like a fictionalized version of the making of one of these films or events from your life? Because I can only imagine the stories.
Oh, there are a lot of great stories. I wish I could remember them all, but but I don't think that's what I would want to do. I never look back. I only look back to learn from the past and try to keep moving forward and create better content than we've made before.
I believe it's at the end of The Rock. Nicolas Cage gets away with some valuable microfilm about the JFK assassination. That was obviously a huge hit. Was there ever talk about doing a sequel to that? Did that ever come close?
No, that's never come up in our conversation. It might have very early on, but nothing recently.
And obviously, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is massive. I know that they're always looking to do another one. Can you give an update as to the status of another Pirates movie?
Yeah, we're working on a draft right now, and hopefully we'll get it shortly and give it to Disney, and hopefully they'll like it. We don't know. We've been working on it for a little bit.
Is it like a spin-off of the Pirates that we know, or is it another one for John?
Well, the one we're developing right now, we're not sure quite what Johnny's role is going to be, so we'll have to see.
I love everything I've seen on Top Gun Maverick. Like, absolutely love. The visuals look unbelievable. What can you tease people about the movie? Have you obviously you must have seen a finished version or close to a finished version?
Yeah, we're in the editing process and doing music. The pandemic hasn't stopped us. Tom is working every day on it besides getting ready to shoot Mission Impossible. It's really exciting. It's the aerial stuff. I've never seen anything like it. The performances, great young actors. Jennifer Connelly's amazing. We're really thrilled. We're really happy that we have such an amazing movie on our hands.
Can you tease a little bit about the story?
Well, I think what's out there is kind of what we want to have the public know right now. We'll tease more as we get closer to the release date.
I was very impressed with what you and Aang did with the high frame rate on Gemini Man and the technology that it took to bring that film to life. Can you sort of talk about how technology has influenced how you are going to make movies in the future? Or if there's any new technological innovations that you've seen that you want to apply to what you guys are doing?
Well, every day there's new things that are coming up for us to use tool-wise. And that comes down to our directors and our visual effects people who constantly explore new ways to bring great storytelling to the big screen. And we're kind of lucky right now that even through this pandemic, there are ways we can film things that look spectacular and not even be outdoors. So that's really helpful for all of us.
You mentioned earlier, you have a whole bunch of things in development and Bruckheimer Films. What's getting ready to pop over there, or besides Hightown, that you're excited for fans to know about?
Well, we have a bunch of pilots that we're hopefully going to get made once this thing is over. And, you're excited about all your projects that you hope to get made. And some of them rise to the top and some of them never make it. But we work hard until we get a green light on all of them.
Are you still involved with Wild Bunch and Mel Gibson?
We are. We're very engaged on that. We hope to get that made shortly, too, once this kind of virus disappears for a while.
Hopefully. I had heard through the grapevine that Mel might have been doing some location scouting for the movie, which leads me to believe that that it's far along.
That is true. He did some location scouting, fortunately for us, before the pandemic hit us. And I hope that we get back up to speed as soon as they lift us out of this home lockdown.
I think Mel is a ridiculously talented director. I mean, he gets credit, but I don't think enough credit for what he's been able to do. Can you sort of talk about what it's like to work with him, developing a project, and maybe what's impressed you about working?
He's so smart. He's such a great storyteller. He's a terrific writer. He did a lot of writing on the movie. He's got such great insight into character and story. And he also is a brilliant director. I mean, and he's a fun guy. He's a really funny guy to work with. He's very, very, very collaborative. And it's just been a great experience for me to be able to be with a director of that caliber. And, a lot of actors are dying to work with him. And we're trying to put together a great cast.
I got to wrap up. I'm just going to say thank you so much. Please stay safe, healthy, and thank you so much for your time.
Do the same thing. Thanks for being here with us. I really appreciate it.